Hey everyone, this is National Bestseller How Come No One Told Me That by Prakash Iyer. Chapter 8. There's an old saying life is like riding a bicycle. If you want to keep your balance, you need to keep moving. That is so true even today. Standing still is never an option, and if you do so, a fall is almost guaranteed. But the euphoria of riding the bike can make us believe we are infallible. And that's when the trouble begins. Time to get your own shot clock. It was the 1950s. The sport of basketball was in trouble. Games were beginning to drag. Excitement was dwindling and the crowds were staying away. Wondering why? Well, here's what would happen. Once a team got a lead in the game, they would deliberately slow down the game. They would try and hold on to the ball for as long as they could. The team in the lead would pass the ball from one teammate to another, depriving the opponents of chance of to catch up. They wouldn't bother with shooting or scoring points. So much so that in one NBA game, the scoreline at the end read 19-18. Sounds unbelievable today, doesn't it? And then in 1954 came an innovation that transformed the basketball, the shot clock. Danny Biasin, the man credited with its introduction. He's the man credited with changing the face of basketball. He introduced the clock, a countdown timer, and a new rule came into force. Once a team got possession of the ball, they had 24 seconds in which to take a shot at the basket. If they failed to do that, the ball would pass over to the opposing team. Result? Both teams now had no option but to try and score points throughout the game. There was never a dull moment, and often the winner was decided only in the dying moments of the game. The impact was dramatic. The pace of the game picked up. Average points per game went up from 79 to 107, and attendance too went up by 40%. Basketball's shot clock has got the authorities in other sports thinking too. Tennis officials are experimenting with the shot clock, no doubt aimed at putting an end to the endless ball bouncing we see before every serve. And underwear adjusting too. Golf is toying with the idea as well to try and speed up the game and get the golfers to take a shot without a million practice swings. But it strikes me that more than tennis players and golf pros, it's you and I who need to get our own shot clocks. And yes, every organization, every business needs one too. We see several businesses do what the team in the lead in basketball used to do. They build a large, profitable enterprise and a dominant share, and then sit back and rest on their laurels. They don't innovate, they don't feel the need to do anything, and then they die. Take Kodak, for instance. A shot clock could have reminded Kodak that they needed to change. That if they didn't move forward, they risked losing their customers and their entire camera film business. A clock like that would have goaded Kodak to go digital and saved them from bankruptcy. As individuals, we are sometimes guilty of falling into the same trap. We work hard, we deliver, we get elevated to a position we had always wanted, and then we take our foot off the pedal and move into cruise control mode. We think no one will notice, but our teams pick up that change. The organization's performance reflects the slackening up, and business begins to go south. We could all do with a short clock that would remind us that sitting pretty on the past successes is not an option. We need to make progress, grow, and learn in order to stay relevant. And if we don't do that, we risk losing what we have so carefully built up. And I'm sure we all need that short clock in our personal lives too, to remind us to spend time with the family, go out on that dinner date with the spouse, be there with the children. We all need reassurance, constant reassurance. A countdown timer that says you have to do better this again quickly or else would work wonders, I'm sure. Use a short clock to guide yourself in your personal life and watch the quality of your relationships improve. Time then to get your own little shot clock before it's too late. We could all do with a short clock that would remind us that sitting pretty on past successes is not an option. We need to make progress, grow, and learn in order to stay relevant. And if we don't do that, we risk losing what we have so carefully built up. Taking your foot off the pedal is not an option. That's it for chapter 8. See you in the next one.